You've probably heard me saying things like, that's a good shape, that's a strong shape, or in the previous lesson we encountered a bad shape. In this lesson we'll talk about what it is, the shape of stones in Go, and how it can be good or bad. Playing Go is like drawing a black and white picture, and during the creation of that picture, the stones will inevitably form different shapes and patterns. Some of those shapes will be pretty, and some of them not so pretty. Of course, when I say pretty, I don't mean pretty as a flower or a rainbow. Pretty means it's going to be efficient, it's flexible, it's safe, it can make eyes easily, and it can connect your stones. And a bad shape would probably lack all of these qualities. Here's an example of this. You can see 4 shapes made of black stones. Half of them are good, and half of them are bad. The question is, which is which? What does your gut tell you? I know it's a hard question to ask at the beginning, but maybe just by intuition you could feel that the shapes on the right seem simple and elegant. There's nothing redundant in them. And the shapes on the left seem a little crumpled, like a pile of bricks. There's just something off about them, about the shape of those stones. And this is one of those things that's a lot easier to feel than to explain. But if we compare it to music, then anyone can tell the difference between a beautiful melody and some notes played out of tune. So a good shape is like a beautiful and harmonic chord, and a bad shape is like a jarring and dissonant chord. You can feel that this sounds wrong, and this sounds a lot better. In the same way, Go players can feel that this is bad and this is good shape. And now here are some more examples of this, but now with the opponent's stones as well. In this position, White just played here, attacking the 2 black stones. And now Black needs to think of how to respond here. Black can always think of connecting like this. But this makes a very ugly shape. White will extend, and now all of these stones can later get under attack. Then how about this move? Again, a bad shape here. White will extend, and if Black doesn't do anything, with the very next move, White can Atari. Black will have to connect. Black's shape looks like a chunk of stones. Then how about this? Trying to aggressively press White down. But in this case, White can even cut. Black connects. White extends. And now this black stone is cut off and White can attack it. This looks quite dangerous for Black. A good shape move here for Black would be to play here. This move prepares to play this next. Black's shape is very good. Black already has one eye for sure. And White would have to respond here, playing this. Of course, White doesn't want this shape to happen, so probably White responds here. But now Black is not in danger anymore. Black can play here, or Black can just play elsewhere. Now here's one more example of playing a good shape, this time a little more challenging. In this position, White just played here, threatening to capture these 2 black stones. If Black doesn't respond, White will play here, and these stones are captured. And that would be terrible because these 3 white stones will come back to life. Black needs to prevent this. So how would you play as Black? This position is a very good test of your feel for the good shape, because Black has many ways of saving those 2 stones, but only one of them is in good shape. One of the first things that a beginner could think of here is to play something like this. Atari on the 3 stones, just to make sure that those stones are captured, and there's no trouble. But this is very submissive. Now this gives White a chance to Atari here, Black will have to capture, and then this is another Atari. White gets a lot of forcing moves. So let's go back. In general, capturing the stones like this should be the last thing you will think about. Let's try something more imaginative. How about a simple connection? Again, now this A-B exchange seems very nice for White. White essentially just gets this stone for free. We can do better than that. I'm sure that this is now quite obviously bad. White can get this Atari for free, and Black will have to connect. How about this move now? This is a tiger's mouth, a good shape. Is this better? Yes and no. It's a good shape, all right, but now White gets a chance to play here, and this move threatens a snapback, something we've already talked about. If black doesn't respond to this, white will capture the stones. So after this, black still needs to connect. White gets this move for free. The best shape move here, and it looks very similar to the previous problem, is to play here. First of all, it protects the cutting point. White cannot cut like this. Black will connect. And white cannot cut here. Black will connect. And if white tries to escape, this is a ladder. Black will capture these stones. But what's really amazing about this move is that not only does it protect the cutting point, but it also builds some territory on the right side, and it prepares to play this next, to make even more territory here. This is the most active defense you could think of here, instead of just defending passively. Just like the tiger's mouth, this shape is good to remember. In many cases like this one, it will give you a chance to defend actively. The whole idea is that a good shape gives you more options, more possibilities, and a bad shape limits your choices greatly. You know, one day I was playing a game against one of my younger students, and all of a sudden she played a move that seemed way above her level. I was flabbergasted, and I asked her, "How did you come up with this? Why did you play this?" And she said, "Can't you see? It looks like a flower." So very often when you make a move that's simply good shape, coincidentally, it will also be a very good move. Of course, if you only build good shapes, it doesn't really mean you're going to win for sure. But if you only make bad shapes, that will definitely lead to no good. So a feeling of shape is an additional aesthetic compass in this ocean of possibilities in the game of Go. And now let's move on to the next example. In this position, black just played this Atari and white extended. And now black needs to come up with a good shape to connect all their stones. How would you do it? And this is exactly that flower-like shape. Black should play here, creating a double tiger's mouth. Now all of black's stones are well connected, and if white pushes here, black will extend to the outside. You just have to feel that this shape allows you to connect all of your stones nicely. But let's try something else. Let's try other options here. For example, black could think of playing like this. But now there's a weakness left behind. White can now Atari. And after black connects, white will capture these two stones. As a bonus, this shape is making eyes very nicely. Black already has one eye here, and if necessary, black can also slide like this and make life here at the bottom. And speaking of making eyes when it's necessary, let me show you one last example here. Here, black has a very small group in the corner. And now the question is, how can black make two eyes? How can black live here? We've seen this position before, haven't we? It looks like something from the endgame. So white played here, black responded, and white connected. And we said before that black needs to connect as well. For example, like this. But unfortunately, in this case, black doesn't seem to have two eyes here. After white plays like this, black can only make one eye in the corner. Black would die. So black has a better move here. Black can play a tiger's mouth again. Because like we said before, it allows you to make eyes more easily. With this move, black already has one eye in the corner, and if white plays here, black has two eyes, and black is alive. The shape of stones in Go is a big and exciting topic, and we'll be coming back to it again and again in the future. Sometimes the benefit of playing a good shape is that it allows you to make life, make two eyes more easily, just like we saw in this example. And that's the topic that we're going to cover in the next section of the course. We'll talk about life and death. By the way, you can also watch these lessons on our platform, gomagic.org. Except there, you'll watch them with interactive quizzes right within the lessons and practical exercises right after them. And if you enjoy watching these Go videos and you don't want to miss others like this one, go smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this is Go Magic.